What if I told you that the compliments you've been using your entire life, the innocent praise, the polite admiration, are not only ineffective but secretly sabotaging your chances with women? What if the words you thought were sweet, the kind phrases you believed would make you stand out, were actually blending you into the forgettable background? Just another well-meaning man in a sea of approval seekers. Now imagine there were a handful of forbidden compliments, the kind most men are too timid to utter, that possess an almost hypnotic power. Compliments so rare, so charged with meaning, they bypass logic and tap directly into a woman's primal core, stirring admiration, curiosity, even obsession. These are not the tired, "You're so beautiful" cliches she's heard 1,000 times from men who disappeared into irrelevance. No, these are the compliments that reveal you see something deeper in her, something hidden, something even she might not know about herself. And when you say them, your voice low and confident, your gaze steady, you become unforgettable. Are you ready to unlock the top 6 forbidden compliments that ignite desire and intrigue, and change the way women look at you forever? If so, stay with me, because once you master these, you'll no longer need to chase. You'll be the man they can't stop thinking about. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. And when you apply its principles to how you compliment women, you're not just flattering her, you're speaking to her soul. Let's break down the 6 phrases that'll make her see you as the grounded, intentional man you are. Compliment 1. You have a mind that's hard to find. Most men are drawn to the obvious. The curve of her smile, the way her dress hugs her figure, or the effortless elegance in how she carries herself. They fixate on the surface, offering shallow compliments that dissolve into the noise she's heard 100 times before. But when you choose to compliment something rare, her sharp mind, the clever way she dissects a conversation, or the unorthodox way she views the world, you do more than catch her attention. You stand out like a whisper in a thunderstorm. Why? Because you're signaling that you see her, truly see her, not as a fleeting image but as a mind, a soul, a force. It's not just about the words you choose. It's the reverence laced into your tone, the pause before you say it, like you're savoring a discovery. Imagine leaning in slightly, eyes narrowing with a trace of awe, as if you've uncovered a rare manuscript in a dusty, forgotten library. That quiet admiration becomes a spark, a seed of curiosity lodged in her mind. Why does he notice what others miss? What else does he see? Suddenly, your presence becomes magnetic, a mystery she feels compelled to solve, a presence she begins to crave, not because you told her she's beautiful, but because you showed her she's unforgettable. Compliment 2. There's something about the way you carry yourself. It's magnetic. This one is rarely spoken of, not because it doesn't work, but because most men are too intimidated to embrace it. Complimenting a woman's energy, her presence, the subtle, magnetic force she carries when she enters a room, feels unfamiliar, even risky, to those conditioned to praise only what their eyes can see. Yet, that's exactly why it holds such undeniable power. Anyone can tell her she's beautiful, but how many men have the perception or the courage to notice the way her presence shifts the air, the quiet confidence in the way she stands, or the unspoken elegance in how she occupies space without demanding attention? When you acknowledge her essence, not just her appearance, you're telling her you see beyond the surface. You notice the way her laughter softens the edges of a room, how her silence holds weight, or how her calm draws people in like the tide. This kind of recognition isn't fleeting, it lingers. It plants curiosity in her mind. What else do you see that others miss? It makes her feel not just attractive, but truly captivating. A woman whose allure transcends her reflection. And that desire to be seen, truly seen, is intoxicating. It sparks an addictive need to keep showing you more of her depths, drawing you deeper into her world with every interaction. Compliment 3. I respect how you handle yourself in tough situations. Most compliments skim the surface like a pebble skipping across a lake. They touch down briefly, leaving faint ripples before disappearing entirely. But this one, this rare and almost forbidden compliment, sinks deep, straight into the bedrock of who she is. Why is it forbidden? Because most men never even think to venture there. They shower her with praise for her beauty, her smile, or the way her dress clings in all the right places. They want to be the hero, the savior, the man who fixes everything. But what about the battles she's already fought on her own? What about the nights she stared at the ceiling, heart racing, wondering how she'd make it through, and somehow did? When you have the courage to admire her strength, her resilience, her ability to weather storms without losing her humanity, you're not just flattering her. You're validating the parts of her most people overlook, the grit beneath the grace. You're telling her you see her not as fragile or ornamental, but as powerful and whole. And in a world obsessed with surface-level praise, that level of recognition isn't just refreshing, it's unforgettable. Who could forget the man who finally saw her, not for what the world demanded she be, but for the warrior she's always been? Compliment 4. You're not like anyone I've met, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or dangerous. This forbidden compliment works like magic because it intertwines mystery with desire, creating a subtle storm of curiosity that's impossible to ignore. It's not the usual flattery she's heard 1,000 times. It's a spark that flickers just out of reach, leaving her wondering if she's being praised, challenged, or both. When you tell her she's unique, you're not just handing her a tired compliment wrapped in shallow words. You're offering her a key to a door that's only half open. What makes her different? Why does she stand out in ways even you can't quite articulate? The ambiguity wraps around her like a silk thread, delicate yet impossible to break. Is she a puzzle you can't solve, or a temptation you're resisting? That uncertainty plants itself deep in her mind, making her crave answers only you can provide. Suddenly, she's no longer just receiving attention, she's invested. Her heart beats a touch faster when you speak. Her senses tune into your every word, and a playful tension blooms between you, thick with intrigue and unspoken possibilities. Who holds the power now? You, for creating the game, or her, for wanting to win it? That is the irresistible dance this forbidden compliment ignites. Compliment 5. The way you think about life, it's refreshing. Complimenting a woman's perspective is like stepping into uncharted waters, territory so rarely explored that it feels almost forbidden. Most men default to the obvious. They praise her shimmering hair cascading down her back, the curve of her smile, or the way her dress hugs her figure. These compliments, while pleasant, skim the surface like a pebble skipping across a lake. But how many men pause long enough to peer beneath, to recognize the unique way her mind interprets the world? How often does someone truly value the way she connects dots no one else sees? The way her experiences color her opinions, or the quiet strength behind her convictions? When you honor her mind, her worldview, her singular lens through which she navigates life, you aren't just complimenting her, you're seeing her, really seeing her. It's the kind of attention that lingers, that brushes against her soul long after the words are spoken. Why? Because it's rare, almost intoxicating. It tells her she's more than ornamental beauty. She's captivating for her essence. And when you offer that level of validation, it doesn't just make her feel special, it leaves her craving your presence, because you've touched something no one else thought to notice. Compliment 6. You make people around you feel comfortable, and that's rare. This one is subtle, almost invisible at first glance, yet it holds the kind of power that lingers in the air long after the moment passes. Why? Because it speaks to a truth most overlook, a truth women often hold quietly close to their hearts. It touches on something deeper than appearance or charm. It highlights a quality many women take immense pride in, yet rarely hear acknowledged: their natural ability to cultivate warmth, foster connection, and weave invisible threads of ease into the fabric of social gatherings. It's the gentle way she draws out the shyest person in the room with a soft smile, the way her laughter acts like sunlight spilling into a dim space, making people lean in, relax, and open up. It's a forbidden compliment not because it's inappropriate, but because so few men even think to offer it. Most are too preoccupied with what she does for them, how she looks, what she says, how she fits into their narrative, rather than how her presence subtly shifts the emotional climate of a room. By noticing this, by honoring the ripple effect of her presence, you reveal emotional intelligence and rare social awareness, two qualities that make you stand apart in a sea of surface-level attention. You're not merely captivated by her. You respect the invisible artistry of how she shapes the world around her. And isn't that what true attraction really is? Seeing the beauty in what others overlook? Conclusion. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these forbidden compliments do you think you could pull off the easiest? Have you ever given a compliment that made a woman's eyes light up, and she couldn't stop thinking about you? Drop your stories, your questions, and even your doubts in the comments below. Let's turn this into a space where we can all sharpen our game, and maybe even redefine how we see attraction itself. And if you found these forbidden compliments eye-opening, share this video with a friend who needs to step up their compliment game. At the end of the day, the right compliment is not just about flattery. It's about seeing her in ways the world overlooks. Most men stay in the safe zone, complimenting beauty, style, and surface-level traits. But the men who understand the power of forbidden compliments, they unlock deeper attraction, respect, and desire. So the next time you're talking to a woman, remember this: the right words, delivered with confidence, can make her obsess over you long after the conversation ends. Now the question is, are you bold enough to use these forbidden compliments and see the results for yourself? Think about it, and I'll see you in the next video.